is bigger than him. Ha, yeah, ha.
Hey guys, it's Burning Woods here, and I got another battle versus somebody I found off this Ruby chat room, and his name is Malk. Alright, so, I send out my lead Infernape, and, he sends out his lead Blaziken, but he names Blazin, which I don't get, but alright, I guess. So he goes for the Protect, which I'm kind of confused. Why did he go for the Protect? But I'm like, whatever. And then I go for Stealth Rocks, because, yeah, because you need Stealth Rocks to defeat some flying types later on. Anyways, and then he gets a speed boost, so I'm like, that kind of makes sense. I guess you would go for Protect just to get a speed boost. And he goes for a Focus Blast, and I dodge it completely, and I thought he would switch out possibly, so I use Flare Blitz, because I'm an idiot, and I don't have close combat. But oh well, because I'm an idiot, that's why I don't have it. But anyways, I get hit with Recoil. It doesn't do too much recoil to me, and it did not that bad damage for resistant. But anyways, he gets a speed boost, and he tries to go for a Focus Blast again, and it hits me this time. And, it, does, it practically, it kills me. So, I faint, yeah, and he gets Life Orb damage. And then he gets a speed boost again, which I kind of don't think he needs anymore because he's already gotten +2s and now he's on +3. So now I switch into Swampert, and he goes for the Protect again, which I'm like, that's kind of stupid because I'm gonna knock you out next turn. But anyways, I tried to use Surf, but he's protecting himself, so I can't do anything to him. And he gets another speed boost, which really doesn't make a difference. And he goes for Mirror Move and uses Surf against me. And I thought that was kind of dumb because, sure, I am a ground type. It's neutral to me, but it's not stab, so it's not going to do that much, even though he's Life Orbed. Anyways, and then I Surf him, and it knocks him out. So now it's 5-5 so far. He's knocked out, and now I get Leftovers Recovery, which is pretty nice, so I'm not damaged as much. Anyways, he sends out his Ambipom, so I'm like, I'm not sure if he'll really do anything to me, so I might as well just stay in. And I stay in and go for Protect just to see what he might go, because it's like my scout technically, just to see what he'll do. And he goes for a Last Resort, which is kind of stupid, because he never used a single one of his moves yet. And Last Resort is an attack that you have to use every single one of your moves to then be able to use Last Resort, and he keeps spamming Last Resort, so I'm like, alright, whatever. I Toxic him just to see if he can ever attack me because of I'm afraid that he might hurt me later. So if I Toxic him or if he switches out, I can hurt that something else. Anyways, you get more Leftovers Recovery, and he gets Toxic damage. And then he tries to go for Last Resort again, and I'm like, geez, what are you trying to do? You're so stupid. Whatever. Anyways, I go for Surf, and it does a lot. Even though it's a wall, my Swampert's a wall, it still did not that bad of amount of damage, so another Surf should knock him out. And I go for a Protect just to see if he actually finally does something else besides just spam the Last Resort. But what do you know? He goes for Last Resort again, like a stupid person. I mean, why would you spam Last Resort? I mean, you should know what the move is gonna do before you use it. Anyways, he takes more Toxic damage, and I go for another Protect, just hoping that he might do another attack, but apparently he's deciding to spam more Last Resort, so I'm like, whatever, at least I get almost all my HP back on Swampert. So I get Leftovers, he gets Toxic Poison damage, and then he faints, finally, jeez. Alright, and he sends out his Sceptile, and I'm afraid. I'm kind of afraid of this thing, so I switch out. And I go into my, Notori, because I think he's might go for the grass attack. Or, yeah, he could Detect, which I kind of questioned, because what was I gonna do to a grass type? Anyways, he goes into his, Magneton, and, as I go for the, Spikes. But this was before I found out that Spikes and Stealth Rocks is illegal to have together. So, he goes for Hidden Power. I didn't know what it was. I kind of thought it would be like ground or something, but it's actually hidden power fighting fire. I'm sorry, and he does a huge chunk of damage to me, but I'm still spamming spikes because now I have at least 2 layers to do a lot of damage to him. And now he uses hidden power again to knock me out. And so I lost 2 Pokemon, so now it's 2, I believe 4 and 4 as well. But anyways, I go into my Kajondo and I just to knock him out with high jump kick, and I land the hit and I knock him out with a high jump kick, which was pretty sweet because I was afraid that if I miss, I would take a ton of damage from the miss plus a life orb, so it's gonna hurt me pretty bad. And but anyways, I take a little bit of life orb damage, and that's a good thing. And then he goes into his Machamp, and he gets a little bit hurt from the rocks and spikes. But like I said before, I didn't know that spikes and Stealth Rock was illegal. Anyways, I went for the stab high jump kick, and I luckily landed again with no miss, so I don't take too much damage. So I knock out 2 of his Pokemon in a row just using high jump kick. And now he goes into his Sceptile, so I'm like, why would you switch out into that? But whatever. And I go for the he D-tagged, says I was gonna go for a U-turn, which kind of sucked, but he's just kind of trying to stall me out, so it wouldn't seem like he played so bad. But he goes for the hidden power. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it does neutral damage to me, so I believe it's probably fire or something. And I U-turn out, so I'm like, if you know I've U-turn, why would you switch into Sceptile? Because you know I'm gonna knock you out with a life orb U-turn, but whatever. Anyway, so I U-turn out and I knock him out. And then I come back, and I send out my Ononokus or something. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyways, I have Mold Breaker, sends out his Aggron, which I felt kind of bad because it was too easy for me to knock him out, because basically an Earthquake is 4 times effective, and yes, I have Earthquake, and I'm supposed to be a Dragon Dancer, but I wouldn't Dragon Dance because I would just kind of stall. So then I knock out his Aggron with 1 Earthquake, and it was a good game, Malk. I found him on the Sarubi chat. I don't know if he has a YouTube or not, but yeah, good game. It was fun.